Hi, all. Susan Winter here. I want to talk about a topic today that has come to my attention because I've had several clients tell me that they've met the right person at the wrong time. And so, before any of you go suffering needlessly, thinking that you may be in the same boat, that you too have met absolutely the right, perfect, wonderful person, and it's just the wrong time. Let me go over some of the valid reasons that it could be potentially a great relationship and the timing is off, as opposed to those reasons why it isn't. Okay. The first of which I want to discuss is the obvious logistics. Let's say that you've met somebody, you went to a house party, you sat down, you talked to somebody amazing, engaging, exciting, dynamic. You seemed to just be able to talk for hours. You went on, and then you met again, and then you had more conversations. And every conversation was even deeper than the last. And it felt like you could go anywhere with this person. And you got so excited, and it was mutual, and you felt it, and you really thought it was delicious. Then you find out, ah, they signed up for a 2 year stint at the South Pole, or they're just leaving town because they're headed to a year-long journey on the road, or you're leaving. You're leaving in a month and a half because you've made a commitment to something you've wanted your entire life. And so there is a logistic factor, whether you met them on a trip and you just got to know them. So you are determined to feel like you are losing your chance and this thing is impeding your progress. And when you think that you have met the right person at the right time, I want you to filter it through this perspective just to save yourself any kind of unnecessary aggravation. One, have you only known them briefly? You just met them. So everything is on the upside and you don't know that much about them, which makes the excitement of getting to know them and being with them even stronger. But it also makes the commitment to being in a relationship where you are not in the same location even more difficult. It's one thing to have a couple commit to being apart for a period of time when they have been in an existing relationship and sorted everything out. But if the two of you have not had that time period to do the sufficient work to get completely in alignment, to be a couple, to commit to goals, and to work out how you are going to be in a long distance relationship, then you might not be able to say, this is the right person at the wrong time. What you can say to alleviate some of your anxiety is that I met an amazing person. The timing wasn't right for us to explore this. You will notice that you most often will defer to a situation like this as being a right person in the wrong time when you haven't known them very long. Rarely do people say this after knowing somebody for a year or two. In those cases, it would be an extramarital affair, or both, one or both are partnered. And that's a whole nother situation. We assume that somebody is the right partner if you are having an affair with them because you see those moments of them, perhaps your coworkers, and they are having an affair with you, and you are the single person, or you're partnered too. And you are seeing them in those brief, exciting, dynamic times where you get together sexually. And that's like the excitement of a long distance relationship where you don't see each other all week and then you can get together on the weekends or once or twice a month and you just spend the whole time in bed. So this is not indicative of how you would measure, is this the right person for me? Because you've really never been through the ups and downs of a committed, a lifetime relationship with this person, the day-to-day negotiation. Who's going to fix the garage door opener? What are we going to do about the car? Well, their kids, your kids, you haven't sorted this stuff out. So you have only glimpses of what you assume to be the right person. And you're suffering over the fact that the timing is off. So in these cases, I'd really like you to think it through. There are other conditions that I want to talk to you about. Oh, one or the other of you are going through tremendous life changes. It could be that you've got a perfectly wonderful partner and you've met and maybe you've had a month or two together. Something extraordinary is happening in their life. A parent becomes ill. They are the sole caregiver. They don't want to put them in a home. A child becomes ill. Their entire attention has to be someplace else. They don't want to divert from you, but they cannot survive if they do not. It could be economic. It could be a physical condition that they're going through, where they're struggling through a cancer diagnosis or something similar. It could be that they've just started a business and the timing could not be worse. This is valid. This is far more of a valid situation if you were in something that is working and suddenly this event has come where you can clearly see they're not avoiding you. You know them, you've been together for a while, but they cannot pay attention to you. And everything that you want to do and everything they want to do, they must do what comes next. Or it could be you who has to do that. And in this case, it is, unfortunately, poor timing. So the question is, in analyzing, do we go forward? What is the ultimate cost? How long does this event occur? How long must the focus deviate? And is there no other way that we can construct to continue the forward growth of our relationship while in the midst of all this lifestyle change? There is another reason that people find a person that they assume to be the right partner at the wrong time. And that's when the emotional and psychological perspective is not in sync. So this is more a case of attraction and excitement and dynamic connection, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship would be sustainable because one person's mindset is not available to be able to commit. They could have just ended a relationship. Again, that's unfortunate timing. They could have just become single after having been divorced, and they need that time to move forward. Now, this can be excruciating for the other person. I have some close connections with clients that I love dearly, where we have been working through several of them, both men and women, waiting for the person that they met who was newly divorced to kind of get through the divorce process, being single, having, and this is excruciating, and I won't tell you it's not, allowing them to go out and kind of feel the experience of being single so that they can then have ticked the boxes and satisfy themselves that they gave a sufficient look at the terrain around them and have indeed decided to stay with this wonderful selection of person that they found way too soon. That can happen. The transit to getting there can be really uncomfortable. For those of you who are waiting because you really feel that this is something special, take heart. One of my dear friends is getting married now, is engaged, and it took about 1.5 years for this to all settle, but truly her partner was in the gate, clearly in the gate by about 9 months, but it's uncomfortable. If you want to work on this, I urge you to contact me, susanwinter.net, set up a consultation because you need to have the right mindset to adjust to the timing being off. And the last thing I want to talk about is when the timing is off in terms of your romantic partnership goals. Now, this most often can happen when somebody wants to start a family. And for those of you ladies out there who know the clock is ticking, you've been dating, you're like, okay, now I really got to get serious, and you want a child right away. Not everybody you're going to meet is like, yeah, I just met you. Yes, I'm ready to be a parent with you. It's not going to happen that easily, and you know it. So this can create a lot of pressure. And if timing is off in your romantic goals, it can tie into graduating from your master's or your PhD and having financial stuff and then starting a family, or it can be whatever sequence is required for you to go through. And it is of the essence. The timing is of the essence that you do it in a certain time. This can apply a lot of pressure. So when you think about these people and you're thinking that you have found the one and you have locked onto them as being, this is the one, this is the one, it's the perfect person, I can't get over them, oh my goodness, it's not going to work, I don't know if it's going to work, I don't know how we're going to do it, I've found the right person, I've finally found the right person. I just want to ask you this. Are you sure? Really? Are you really sure? Because all this stuff is going on. And if all this stuff is going on, and if they are not in sync with you, if they are not negotiating with you, if they are not working toward a solution with you to address the timing issue, are you sure you want to put your laser on them and lock on them as being the one and exclude anybody else in the real world? Are you sure about that? So this is what I would ask you. For those of you who are suffering, feeling like, oh, I met the right one, the timing was off, blah, 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 blah. Are they working with you to fix it? That's the final question you have to ask yourself, because the right one, the really right person, they would. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Please check out a consultation. Come to my site, take a look at my merch, my products. I really appreciate your being such a great audience, and I'm here for you if you need me to help you with your timing. Take care now.